Hi everyone, this is Andrea, the Girl Plus Paper. This video is part of the creative design team, and we are taking on projects that are featuring the Happiest Place paper suite from Close to My Heart. This paper suite's available through the end of August. Let's take a little look at this paper suite in the catalog. So you'll notice that there is a brightly colored pattern paper collection here, and down on the left hand side you'll see some little stickers and stuff like that. I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be featuring the white embossed cardstock that you see here in the additional cardstock pack. It's beautiful. There is a CRICUT digital download collection. I'm featuring that, and I'm also featuring the stamp set and thin cut. So I'm going to put that aside and show you where I was going with this project. The project began because I wanted to scrapbook one of my own photos of my daughters in Disney World last year. And the color palette's a little bit different than that bold primary happy color palette. So I started to decide maybe I should work with some cardstock. And that's where the project took off. I went with a mini layout page that's from our Close to My Heart exclusive CRICUT collection called Everyday Moments, and I stretched it out and built upon that layout. So it was supposed to be smaller, but I decided to make it into a 12 by 12. So here you see me gluing down the overlay, and I'm going to just stop the video for a moment and speed it up so we save you some time as you watch. Okay, I figured you didn't need to watch me gluing in slow motion. So what's important about this is that you know that this is our cardstock in the pewter color, and it is double-sided, so I've used both the darker and the lighter hue. And now here is one of the components from that layout as well. I've cut this out of Mink, and I'm taking the Best Day Ever stamp from our Happiest Place collection, and I'm stamping that tone on tone onto the lighter side of the cardstock, of the Mink cardstock. And I've just made my own pattern. And what I like about this is that just by randomly stamping, I can use any color paper and matching ink, and I could make this look completely different. I could have done this with some candy apple ink and some white paper, whatever I needed to match my Disney photos. So that's something that I love to do, is just make my own background paper. And I just thought that this sentiment fit really well. So I am not going to cover the whole page, as you'll see, because my photo mat is going to go ahead and cover that up. So I figured let's stop stamping there. So now it's just a matter of placement, right? I am just putting down my photo, and I'm putting some foam tape on the back. I wanted the photo and the photo mat to sort of, just come up off the page a little bit. I thought that was a lot of fun. I have cut a lot of the elements out of our silver foil paper. This stuff is wonderful. It's so pretty. And I am using our current Mix-Ins paper pack. That's what I used for the bow. And you'll notice a flower that I've cut out of our digital Happiest Place collection. That's going to come up soon. But I wanted that bow to have some texture, and I thought that Mix-In cardstock was a perfect way to do that. And what a wonderful day. The O in wonderful it was solid when I pulled off some of the layers. So I just used a little oval shape and I sliced it, and I got the O cut out. I didn't want the O to be solid. I used 2 circles. They're just your basic shapes too, because I wanted some Mickey ears to go along with the bow that came from my collection. Really wanted this page to be all about those ears. And so you'll see I'm struggling a little bit with the placement here, and I'm not really liking where that got placed. It's too far over to the left, so I'm moving it, trying to even it out, and there we go. You'll notice that the little accents that I've cut in solid colored cardstock are cut in peach, and I'm using the lighter side for that little tab, and for the round circles for my Mickey or Minnie ears, I should say. And I'm just gluing down all the little pieces. Now we also have a journaling pen that is the same color, so that would be really nice to journal the date right there on that little tab, right? Another thing I want to note is that you see that white embossed cardstock that's under the word wonderful? That little banner is cut from our coordinating cardstock for the Happiest Place. And it is just beautiful. Like I said earlier, it's shimmery and glittery and has some holographic notes, which I think as I move things around, you might be able to pick that up. But it really worked well together. And so I like that. Now, I really wanted you just to think outside of the box with this. There are so many wonderful components. Like I said, I used the cardstock. I used the title downloads. The What a Wonderful Day was one of our title SVGs that you can download. So you can use those whether you have a CRICUT or a Silhouette, which is really nice. And then I used the collection of SVGs, the Happiest Place collection, and the stamp set. So I've used 4 different components of this Happiest Place paper suite and gave it a totally different look than those happy primary type colors, candy apple and glacier cardstock and all. I wanted it just to be a touch different and to fit my my layout, my photos. There was also this adorable flower, and what I loved about the flower was that it actually looked like it had little Mickey Mouse buttons on it. But I thought I needed just one little element up there by that little tab, and so I cut one of those out. And those little tiny, tiny ovals are going to go right in the middle of that flower. And I probably should have inked up the edges of the flower, just give it a little dimension, but I decided that, you know what, we'll handle that a little bit, a moment down the line here. I pulled out some of my acrylic hearts, and I'm just going to place 3 of those on the page. So I'm just playing with the placement. I like it when things are in 3s. And so that's what I did, or odd numbers, I should say. So I went with 3, and I'm just going to tuck one down there and then put a couple of them so it moves your eye up the page. And this isn't a very difficult page to create with the CRICUT collection, the Everyday Moments CRICUT collection. But it's a lot of fun. And you see this little tiny paper clip? That's cut out of silver foil too, right from that page. So it's pretty much you pull up that page, you change the dimensions from the 8.5 by 11 to now be an 11.5 by 11.5 inch page. That'll fit my 12 by 12 scrapbook. And that is the layout. It's pretty simple, not very much stress using that Everyday Moments CRICUT collection. And I hope that you make something, that I've inspired you to make something easy and your own from the Happiest Place collection. Now, please hop on over to visit the rest of our creative design team. They have great projects in store for you. The links to all of the other projects made by our creative design team will be down in my video's description. If you've not already done so, please consider becoming one of my subscribers so that you don't miss any of my future projects. I've also put out a few videos already on the Everyday Moments CRICUT collection and one on the Happiest Place Cut Above album that maybe you'd want to check out too. So thanks for stopping by and have a creative day.